What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a massive marathon of the most unhinged, unbelievable and straight up legendary stories from the depths of Reddit. We've got a huge lineup for you today. We are talking about a friend who tried to turn a simple housewarming party into a paid restaurant experience. We got a mother-in-law who is so toxic she actually stole a sentimental baby name to give it to her favorite daughter. We have a man who discovered a bank glitch that made him an accidental millionaire. And finally, a travel nightmare involving a window seat and a very entitled mother on a 10-hour flight. Seriously, stay tuned because these stories get more and more insane as we go. If you love seeing karma hit people like a freight train, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are building an amazing community here, and I don't want you to miss a single drop of tea. Let's jump into our first story. Our first story today comes from the subreddit Choosing Beggars, and it is titled, "My friend charged us an entry fee for her housewarming dinner." The original poster, let's call her Sarah, writes, "I have a friend from college named Lydia. We've known each other for 5 years. Lydia recently bought a small apartment and invited 10 of us over for a housewarming dinner. In the group chat, she was acting like a world-class chef. She told us she was preparing a 5-course gourmet meal and specifically told us, quote, "Mayuan abi ain kan, waya di awa. Do not bring any food, just bring your favorite bottle of wine and an appetite." End quote. So we all show up. We brought expensive wine, flowers for her new place, and we were expecting a great night. The food comes out, and honestly, it was fine. It was just basic pasta with tomato sauce, a side salad, and some bread. It was definitely not a 5-course gourmet meal, but we were happy for her and enjoyed the company. However, as we were all standing by the door getting our coats and saying our goodbyes, Lydia didn't say thanks for coming. Instead, she pulled out her phone, opened her Venmo app, and stood in front of the door like a security guard. She said, quote, "Okay guys, I calculated the cost of the ingredients and my labor for the night. It comes out to $50 per person. Please Venmo me before you leave so I don't have to chase you down later." End quote. Okay, I have to stop right there. Can you guys actually believe the audacity of this woman? $50 for a bowl of pasta and some lettuce. Lydia, unless that pasta was sprinkled with 24-karat gold dust, you are literally robbing your friends. $50 times 10 guests is $500. There is no way that pasta cost more than $40 total at the grocery store. She literally tried to make a $460 profit off her closest friends at her own housewarming party. The internet absolutely destroyed her in the comments. One user named Karma Queen wrote, "This isn't a friend, this is a scam artist. A housewarming party is a gift to your friends, not a way to pay your first mortgage payment." Another user named Petty King added, "I would have handed her back the bottle of wine I brought, which probably cost $30, and told her to subtract it from my bill." Seriously though, what is wrong with people? If you invite people to your house, you are the host. Hosting means you provide the food. If you can't afford it, you ask for a potluck where everyone brings a dish. You don't ambush your friends at the door like a debt collector. And the fact that she charged for her labor? That is the most insane part. Since when do we charge friends for our time spent hanging out? Should I start sending invoices to my friends when we watch a movie or go for a walk? $50 for my time spent sitting on the couch. It's pure insanity. According to an update from the original poster, Lydia actually started sending follow-up texts the next morning to the people who didn't pay, threatening to take them to small claims court. Imagine being a judge and hearing a case about unpaid pasta. I would laugh her out of the room. What do you guys think? Is there ever a situation where it's okay to charge your friends for dinner? Let me know in the comments, because I need to know if I am the crazy one for thinking this is total madness. Moving on to story number 2, which is even more personal, and honestly, it makes my blood boil. This one is from r/justknowmill, and it involves a level of family betrayal that is hard to even process. The user writes, "I am currently 8 months pregnant with my first child, a baby girl. This is a very emotional time for me, because my grandmother, who was my best friend, passed away last year. My husband and I decided to honor her by naming our daughter Elowen. It's a very rare name, and it means the world to me. We made the mistake of sharing the name with my mother-in-law during a family dinner. She didn't say much at the time, she just got very quiet. Well, 2 weeks later, my sister-in-law, who is my husband's younger sister, announced her pregnancy on social media. She is also having a girl, and she is due 2 weeks before me. In her announcement, she wrote, "We can't wait to meet our little princess, Elowen." I was in total shock. I called my mother-in-law, and she admitted that she told the sister the name. Her excuse was that the sister is the favorite child, and she deserved a beautiful name. She even told me that since the sister is giving birth first, she has, quote, "first dibs on the name," and that I need to find something else because it would be confusing to have 2 kids with the same name. Okay, let's take a second to talk about the entitlement here. First dibs on a baby name? This isn't a parking spot at the grocery store. This mother-in-law intentionally took a deeply personal, sentimental name from one daughter-in-law and gave it to her favorite child just to be spiteful. The Reddit comments were absolutely on fire for this one. User Mama Bear wrote, "This is a declaration of war. Change your baby's name to something else and do not tell a single soul until the birth certificate is signed. Cut them off and let them find out on social media." Another user named Petty Expert suggested a different approach. Keep the name Elowen. When the sister-in-law complains, just tell everyone that she loved your idea so much she decided to copy it. Make it very clear to the whole family that she is the copycat. I honestly think the second option is the best. If you change the name, the mother-in-law wins. She gets to control you. But if you keep the name, you are honoring your grandmother, which was the whole point. Imagine the family gatherings, though. 2 little girls named Elowen, one named after a beloved grandmother, and the other named after a thief. I would never let my child play with that sister-in-law's kid. And the mother-in-law? I'm sorry, but she would be banned from the delivery room and my house forever. If you can't respect a simple boundary like a baby name, you don't deserve to be a grandmother. What would you do? Would you keep the name and deal with the drama, or would you pick something new just to have peace? I think I would stay petty and keep the name. Now, let's switch gears to something a little different. This next story is from the Confessions subreddit, and it is about a mistake that changed someone's life overnight. The user writes, "I work in the back office of a very large international bank. About 6 months ago, I was checking my employee stock and savings account. I'm supposed to have about 10 shares of company stock. But when I logged in, I saw 10,000 shares. I thought it was just a glitch and that it would be fixed by the next morning. It wasn't. A few weeks later, the company paid out its quarterly dividend. Because the system thought I had 10,000 shares, I received a massive dividend payment. I woke up on a Tuesday morning and saw $85,000 sitting in my personal checking account." He goes on to say, "I didn't report it. I moved the $85,000 into a separate high-yield savings account. I've been earning about $400 a month in interest alone. I'm using that money to pay my rent, and I haven't touched the original $85,000. It's been 6 months and no one has noticed. I feel like I'm playing a dangerous game of chicken with a giant corporation." Guys, can you imagine the stress of this? Every time an email from HR or the finance department hits your inbox, your heart must stop. One user in the comments, who claims to be a bank auditor, gave a very scary warning. He said, "Delete this post immediately. Banks are slow, but their audits are perfect. They will eventually find the missing shares, and when they do, they will trace the dividend. They won't just ask for the money back, they will take it from your account without warning, and if the money isn't there, they will file criminal charges for theft." But another user had a more chaotic piece of advice. He said, "Keep it. If they find it in a year, give back the $85,000, but keep the interest. Tell them you thought it was a bonus. They can't prove you knew it was a glitch. I don't know about that. Dealing with a bank is like dealing with the government. They always get their money in the end. But the temptation is so real. $85,000 could pay off a car or be a down payment on a house. Could you live with the guilt? Or more importantly, could you live with the fear of being caught?" This guy is basically living on a ticking time bomb. I think I would be too scared to spend even $1 of that interest. What would you do? Would you be the honest citizen, or would you take the money and run? And finally, we have our last story for today, and it is a classic airplane drama. If you've ever traveled, you know that the airport brings out the worst in people. The user writes, I specifically paid extra for a window seat on a 10-hour flight because I have severe motion sickness. About 5 minutes after I sat down, a woman with a toddler sat next to me. She immediately tapped me on the shoulder and said, my son really wants to see the clouds. Can you switch to the middle seat in the back so he can sit here? I politely explained that I paid for this seat and that I need it for medical reasons. She didn't care. She started calling me a selfish brat and told her toddler, the mean lady doesn't want you to be happy, sweetie. For the next 3 hours, she let her kid kick my shins and spill juice on my arm. I finally called the flight attendant and showed her the mess. The flight attendant was an absolute legend. She looked at the woman, looked at me, and said, I am so sorry. We have one seat left in first class. Please follow me. The look on that woman's face was worth more than the ticket itself. She thought she could bully me into a middle seat, and instead, she got me a free upgrade to a lie-flat bed and champagne. She started screaming that it wasn't fair and that her son deserved the upgrade more, but the flight attendant just told her to sit down and be quiet. Honestly, guys, the justice in this story is so satisfying. Why do people think their lack of planning is your emergency? If you want your kid to see the clouds, buy a window seat. Don't harass people who actually prepared for their trip. Anyway, that is all for today's massive Reddit marathon. Which of these stories was the craziest? Was it the $50 pasta, the baby name thief, the accidental millionaire, or the airplane drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the drama and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a wild update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. K.